LLP, the law firm. Hi, Jeffrey.
Hi.
This will be good. Jeffrey to Jeffrey.
You won't forget the name.
Never forget the name. And we both spell it the same, the American way. So, Jeffrey, why don't you first tell us about Duane Morrs and then about your practice?
Sure. Thanks for having me. Duane Morrs is an international law firm. It is trying to fill a niche somewhere between the smaller firms that entrepreneurs would be more familiar with locally and the really, really, really large and expensive firms that they don't touch until they become the big boys on the block. The niche that we fill is sort of that one-stop shop for entrepreneurs in between. Those that have moved beyond the family garage and are now looking at growth opportunities. We have offices throughout the world. If you ever need an office in Ho Chi Minh City, I've got you covered. And throughout the country. And our sweet spot is helping people make money who have a good idea, have a good product, have a good business plan, but need to take the next step beyond the mom and pop infrastructure that they may have been familiar with and are somewhat intimidated by some of the larger firms. They don't know where to go. We're sort of that midpoint. We're certainly not the cheapest folks on the block, but we're not by any means the most expensive. We're substantially less expensive than the Wall Street firms that handle the Fortune 100, Fortune 200 companies. And we try to be entrepreneurial in how we approach things. As my wife always tells me, it's never about me. It's always about the client and always about finding ways to help them do whatever it is they want to do and make as much money as they can in the process. I know I've succeeded when the client becomes obscenely rich.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to put it. Obscenely rich. What? Rich isn't
Not just
good enough.
rich, obscenely rich.
I guess rich isn't good enough anymore. So let me ask you. You do a lot of work in the bankruptcy area, right?
Correct.
Now, I haven't heard a lot about bankruptcy in the last couple of years. So why don't you tell us about your practice and how it's going and what do you do?
Well, I do mostly Chapter 11 work, which is business restructuring, and it runs the gamut. I represent companies that have taken on too much debt on their balance sheet, companies that need to make a change in strategic direction, companies that were making the best buggy whips in the world but now need to make something other than buggy whips and have to deal with the legacy of that. I've represented creditors who are owed money by these companies. The real opportunity these days in bankruptcy, and it is an opportunity, is acquisitions. Bankruptcy has changed over the last 20 or 30 years. The bankruptcy code was written in the late 70s, and it was designed for a time when most businesses were brick and mortar companies that would have balance sheet problems, maybe have stretched out payables, and just dug too deep a hole and needed to get out.